The last few videos have looked at counting atoms and tried to help you visualize what's going on that way. Now we're going to take that information and apply it to balancing chemical equations. But before we get into doing all kinds of examples of equations, I thought it makes sense to look at this visually so you know what the formulas are trying to represent. So we're going to look at an equation that's unbalanced, and that's what we call a skeleton equation, just as the formulas. And we're going to gradually add coefficients until it's all balanced. And each time we add coefficient, we're going to see how that changes in terms of pictures. So let's get this thing rolling. So here we have zinc plus oxygen becomes zinc oxide. By now you would know that's a combustion reaction and a synthesis reaction. So what's that representing? Here's our one atom of zinc. Here's our two atoms of oxygen and an oxygen molecule. And we have one atom of zinc and one atom of oxygen. So we can see the zincs are balanced, but the oxygens are not. And that's not allowed. In a chemical reaction, the number of atoms of each element we start with has to be the same as what we finish with. Holy Toledo. So it tells you oxygen's not balanced, so we must balance the oxygen atoms. Now the only thing we're allowed to change are coefficients. And so now we put a coefficient of 2 in front and we say 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens. We say, hey, that's all good. So when we do that, 1 atom of zinc, 2 atoms of oxygen, 2 atoms of zinc, and 2 atoms of oxygen. So we fix the oxygens, but by doing so we messed up the zincs. 1 atom of zinc can't become 2 atoms of zinc. So you can see it's going to be a pretty obvious solution. We've got to balance the zinc atoms. And when we do that, we put a 2 in front here, and now we have 2 atoms of zinc. We have our molecule of oxygen with 2 atoms of oxygen. The 2 atoms of zinc become 2 atoms of zinc. The 2 atoms of oxygen become 2 atoms of oxygen. So by doing so, that is all balanced. Anytime you finish an equation, you can always go and double check that it's balanced properly. And you'll be operating in this level. You're probably not going to draw out pictures, but if you lose track of what these represent, come back to this sheet of notes to get an idea of what formulas are trying to show.